What's up everyone, welcome to a short vlog that I decided to do basically because I uploaded something earlier today. I've just been really busy. I haven't had time for really proper gameplay stuff. I'm going to be getting back into Outlast because now that I've been not doing it for a while, it's now scary again. Yes, I'm like, I have a problem where if I play a horror game too much, I kind of get used to the jump scares and everything like that. So having it now that I haven't played it for a while, getting back into it, it's scary again, everything creeps me out again. I love it, it's good. I love being scared. Being scared is a good thing, kids. Also, what I am going to be doing as well, today I'm going to talk about Transformers films. Because everyone gives them a slamming, and with, Age of Extinction, or, Dino Explosion-gasm, as I like to call it, coming out soon on DVD most likely. I haven't checked the dates because I'll be honest, I'm not all that bothered about it. I was going to go see it in the film, but after hearing about it from my friends, reading about it on YouTube, watching stuff about it on YouTube, kind of not for it anymore because everyone gave it a massive slamming and they fucking ruined the Dino blocks apparently, which I'm not happy about. So I'll probably buy it on DVD when it comes out. Maybe I'll buy it on eBay if it's going cheap. I don't really want to spend full price on it if it's going to be that bad, but I'm going to watch that. So I thought on the eve of it coming out soon, sometime, I don't know, I'll do a talk about the other Transformers films because my friends like my vlogs. My friend Tony quite likes my vlogs. Oh, Turbo Tony HD or Le Match. I can never pronounce his other channel name. It's something ridiculous. But sorry Tony. He likes my vlogs. He does a good channel as well. Go check him out. His channel's in my featured channel playlist. He does Let's Talk Wrestling reviews. They're pretty good. Our Kitten Gaming Clan, the Kittens of War Gaming Clan, we do a podcast nearly every week. We haven't done the last couple of weeks because lots of people have been on holiday. Tony, for instance, is coming somewhere near me. I'm going to where he's going to be, where I used to live. Well, we both used to live in the same area. We're both going back next week, so there might be some goodies next week. I'm going to try and record some stuff. We might try and get some stuff done while we're all together. Some like improv stuff. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be good. Yeah, he's got an awesome channel. Go check him out. He's really funny. We're both really funny. Not to toot my own horn, I'm pretty funny. I like to think anyway. I amuse myself. But yeah, he's really good. Go check him out. He does his Let's Talk Wrestling podcast are usually done with one of my other friends, Marsander. He's pretty funny as well, and they're both really into wrestling. So if you watch my channel and you're into wrestling, go over there. They're pretty funny. They talk about things about to do with wrestling. They take the piss out of issues and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, into the meat and drink of what I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about the Transformers films from my point of view. This is how I see them. If you see them in a different light, that's fair enough. But from number one, I didn't have much of a problem with. Transformers 1 wasn't really that bad, especially compared to the other two. The other two are just fucking ridiculous. But the first, I mean, people slam it for not having a good story, but it's a film about giant shape-shifting robots. I mean, come on, you can't really have that high expectations for a plot when it's got shape-shifting robots that blow each other up. I mean, come on, you got to suspend disbelief a little bit in this, so you can't judge it too harshly on the story. I do think it focuses on Sam too much, and the romantic relationship between him and Megan Fox, which I'll touch on later. I never bought from the beginning. She she doesn't really seem to be that into the role. She just seems to be there to be something nice to look at, which I don't see why they do that. It's like they've got big ass explosions and shape-shifting robots. Why chucking useless eye candy? What's the point? It's just tits and ass and then some dialogue. That's about it. But yeah, the first one wasn't actually that bad. I quite liked it. Like, I thought, I don't want to sound Shia LaBeouf because I do like him. I do think he's a good actor. He does do some other good films as well that he's been in, and he's done some serious ones. What was one? He did one where he gets a call from people and they tell him to go places like seconds before it happens, and he was quite good in that. I can't remember the name of it. That makes it sound really bad, but yeah, he was okay in that. So he's an okay actor. I enjoyed him when he done children's stuff back in the day when I was younger. So he's not that bad. I kind of have a soft spot for him a little bit. No, I think he's alright. It's just in this one he came across as a little bit annoying. And I understand he's a main focus for the film. He just comes across as annoying sometimes. I mean, it's insane. I mean, the bit where he's going, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, shut up. Man up. At least if you're going to shout for Bumblebee, shout in a manly voice, not like a screaming little child. And, but his family are annoying as well. It's like, they get more, oddly enough, they get more annoying as film goes on. Like in the first one, they're mildly annoying. In the second one, they're irritating. In the third one, they're just irritating. Every time you see them pop up on screen, it's like, oh fuck, not these guys again. But yeah, the second one, they're just downright annoying. I mean, I'll get to the second one in a minute. But the first one was actually okay. I didn't think there were that many things wrong with it. Yes, some of like I would have liked to see shots that were shot a little further back from the robots, maybe that weren't so up close that the really impressive CGI just became a blur because your eyes couldn't fixate on anything. It was just like a blur of things all up in your face. The shit happening, explosions, and it was just okay. Let's take a step back a bit. My eyes can't handle that. And the CGI itself is actually quite impressive. I mean, when Optimus Prime does his whole like really slow transformation, and that's another thing that gets me. Like, do they control their transformations? Can they actively control how fast they transform? Because that seems like, because I think they can, because that's what it seems like. I mean, Optimus, for fuck's sake, Optimus a couple of times in like number 2 and 3, he only like part transforms. I think Bumblebee does it as well during that Highway Matrix Reloaded rip-off chase where he goes and he fires a few things out of his wheels. But yeah, there's a few good moments in the first Transformer film, like when Optimus Prime does his first really big transform. That's an impressive CGI moment. That's actually really well done. I liked that. It was nicely done. You can see all the moving bits, everything shifted accordingly. It was nice. But, the only thing I really didn't like about the first Transformers film was the human acting. The maybe slightly racist voice of Sidewinder, or whatever his name is. That voice is a little bit racist, and they do that number 2 as well, which I'll get onto. But yeah, apart from that, I didn't think it was too bad. The story was okay. There were some good moments in it. I mean, it is a really cheesy story. It's very predictable, but then, to be honest, the films aren't about the story in any way, shape or form. They're about big shape-shifting robots blowing shit up, and that's evident from pretty much second one, I think. But I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it's not as bad as people made it out to be, I don't think. But number 2 is where it starts to get a little bit weird, and it starts to kind of lose its story quite considerably. Number 2 kind of links into the first one. There's a little bit of story continuality there. A little bit, kind of, like, it kind of links on with, like, Revenge of the Fallen kind of thing. And yes, it works. It kind of works, but it goes over the top, I think. I do like that the Fallen came back in, but I don't think he was really necessary. Yeah, like he was okay, but he was made completely unnecessary by the third film. Like, he served, like, that whole bit there served absolutely no purpose when the third film comes along. And I think that's what people get angry about with number 2, was that 1, the story was pretty weak. 2, the characters themselves were pretty weak. They introduce all these new Transformers, a few of which get X'd. Yeah, like, a few of them get fucking taken out, and then, you know, they'd never appear again in the third one. But the twins, where the fuck were they in number 3? Like, the CGI is completely over the top. They rely really heavily on the CGI. Like, and I know they kind of have to, dealing with, you know, big ass transforming robots, but still, it's very, 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 very heavy. And it's a weak story all round. It just seems like it was really hastily put together when the first film made loads of money, broke the box office, was like, wow, really, really popular. Everyone was like raving about it. And even though it did get some hate from original fans, it was kind of okay. It passed muster. And if something passes muster like that and makes enough money, that Hollywood's going to do a second one. So, you know, the second one came along and it seemed very rushed. It didn't seem like they thought they were going to get a sequel, so they knocked something together and threw it out the door. And I don't know, like I don't know whether that was a problem with, like, you know, maybe the studio rushing the writers, or the writers trying to get something out quickly because they thought there might be a third one or a fourth one. But yeah, the whole script just seemed rushed. I mean, like, none of the lines really were that interesting with each other. Like, there was massive chunks of exposition and then just nothing for a while, then a massive chunk of exposition and then nothing. It's like all the really forced humour with that Toretto guy. It's just, I mean, I have nothing against the actor at all. I think he's quite funny. He's been really funny in some other stuff, like him in Big Daddy is quite funny. I like him in that. But in this one, it seems very, very forced and, like, you know, just like, comedy. And it's like Jetfire as well. Jetfire's a really fucking awesome Transformer. If you watch the original series, you'll know how good Jetfire is. And in this one, he's like a crotchety old man that's, you know, got the fucking Transformers version of Alzheimer's or something. It's ridiculous. And everything's just ridiculous. The story is insane. Like, Optimus Prime gets deaded, and then he's like magically reborn by the Matrix of Leadership, which, by the way, Optimus Prime dies a lot in the TV series when I was a kid. He dies a lot. I think like 5 or 6 times he gets X and then comes back. They're even more badass than before. He is Robo Jesus. But like in this one, he gets X, and Sam has to go on this massive quest to find the Matrix of Leadership, this like godlike key component that the God Primes have. The fucking God Primes as well. Jesus, that was a fucking ridiculous scene. The Matrix is the Matrix isn't found, it is earned. And you, Sam, have proven yourself worthy of the Matrix of Leadership. Oh, God Primes! It's like, oh, for God's sake. It's like they really overblow just how godlike these primes were. And he has like this big angelic vision, and now Sam's this like little messiah who's got to bring Optimus back to life because Optimus is the last God Prime. It's like, okay, we understand that Optimus Prime is a badass, but I just thought the whole bit where Max, what do I keep saying Max? I don't know. Where Sam has to earn the right to hold the Matrix of Leadership is really cheesy and utterly fucking stupid. Because the whole thing, that whole bit where he has to prove that he has the goodness of heart and the leadership and whatever to hold the Matrix of Leadership is complete bullshit, because then the Fallen zaps in, snatches it out of the air and fucks off with it and uses it to open that machine. So all of it, that entire bit, completely useless, completely stupid and not needed whatsoever. It's like, oh, you have to prove that, oh shit, the Fallen, yeah, better go get that. It's just, I was like, the Fallen just goes, yoink, and then fucks off. It's just like, and the Fallen can teleport? Okay, I understand the guy's like a bajillion years old, and he's a Fallen Prime, so he's a bit more badass than the rest of the Transformers. But he can teleport, he's got the fucking Force, he's Magneto. The guy has Magneto powers and he's got like the fucking Force or something. And he's like a hover in the Matrix. Oh, wah. He fucking levitates a shit ton of tanks. It's just like, whoop. And then like Optimus Prime beats the shit out of the guy just because Jetfire gives him a few components. It's like Jetfire is not as old as the fucking Prime. It's like even with fucking Jetfire's parts, which apparently make Optimus more powerful for some reason, because like when Transformers cannibalize each other, they take on the powers of their previous form. Because, you know, Transformers are cannibals like that. And it's really weird. It's just like, even with Jetfire's parts, the Fallen still should have kicked his ass. Like, the Fallen should have gone, spear in the face. Because, you know, the Fallen's like a bajillion years old. Jetfire is old, but not quite that old. And, you know, yes, Optimus is a Prime, but he's a very young Prime. So the Fallen still should have kicked his ass. And then, like, Megatron pussies out and just goes, oh, maybe next time. No, fucking Optimus has just had he's just had a fucking massive fight with the Fallen. He's reveling in his victory. You should just come up behind him and go, yeah, bam, through his fucking head. Even if you are lost, even if you have lost an arm. But it's just the whole thing is ridiculous as well. And like the third film just emphasises how stupid the whole second film is. It is completely useless. It's like the whole quest for finding the matrix of power, like finding the matrix of leadership, Sam, like, you know, like doing the whole Megan Fox, Sam bullshit, which I never brought from second one, and I never brought it in number two either. In number two, it's so forced. You never really buy into their romance. Like, I mean, I know it's a movie and everything, but you know it's scripted. And that's what ruins romances in films. When you know it's scripted and you don't buy into the relationship, you don't buy in that these characters actually have something between them, then, you know, that's where you lose your audience. I mean, people are going to hate me for this reference, but the chemistry between Anakin and Padme in the new Star Wars trilogy films. Now, everyone slams this relationship because everyone hates it. It's like, oh, it's really shit, oh, it's really cheesy. But that's the writing that does that. That is actually the writing that does that to the characters. The actual chemistry between the actors themselves and the way they act out the emotions is actually pretty good. I mean, the bit where Padme tells Anakin that she's pregnant, that's a really heartfelt scene. And even like actually in the third one, like they're moments where they're not actually saying anything are very profound moments. You feel the emotion from the characters. I mean, for me, the most powerful scenes in that is when Anakin's standing there, when Hayden Christensen is standing there, not doing a fucking thing, not saying a word. When Christian Hayden isn't saying anything, he's a powerful actor in those films. Like his look, he looks like a badass, especially when, like, you know, I mean, like, he looks like how you'd imagine Vader to look without the mask, or a young Vader to look. When he's having that fight with Obi-Wan on those like floating platforms and shit, he's just standing like, he looks like a badass in those moments. It's only when he opens his mouth, he sounds like a pissed little child. It's like, oh, shut up. It's only when he opens his mouth and talks that he sounds like a child. It's like, ah. But when he's just standing there and he's emoting with his face and his body, he's really good. Like one of the strongest moments is when Padme's standing on that balcony. It's like quite late in the film. Padme's standing on that balcony and she's contemplating shit. Anakin's sitting in the Jedi Council room, also contemplating shit. Not a word is spoken throughout those scenes, but the way the actors like act with their bodies and their body language and everything, even though they're not in the same room, you can tell their feelings are strong for each other. None of that shit in Transformers. None of it at all. It's just cheesy one-liners, really cheesy fucking romantic bullshit. It's so see-through and so ridiculous. And Megan Fox clearly doesn't give a fuck about the role whatsoever. She clearly does not fucking care. Especially in number two. In number one, you can tell she's trying a little bit. But in number two, you can tell she does not give a fuck about anything. She just don't care. She's just like, I don't know, I love you, tits. And it's just really boring, and it really fucking angers me that, you know, she didn't put enough effort into that role. I mean, you can tell fucking Shia LaBeouf, bless him, I think he actually tried with this. I think he really tried to get into this, mainly because I think he wanted a sex scene with her. Because, you know, she is hot, I'll give her that, she's pretty hot, and he probably wanted to get into her pants. So you could tell that he was going, oh, if I do this, I might go in a sex part. But no, unfortunately not Shia LaBeouf. But she was just so fucking crap in this film, and everyone else is really bad. I mean, everyone gives Tyrese a hard time. I liked Tyrese. He's actually pretty good. I like Tyrese. Although number 3, he picks up a bigger role, and I liked his role in number 3. But in number 2, it's just, it's so full of holes. I think that's the problem. It's so full of holes, and the fact that it's like the whole thing is completely negated by number 3 is what really fucks people off, because number 3 is just utter bullshit. It's just so random and out of left field. I mean, on its own, the film would have been okay, because it's like kind of like it's a good story of like, deceit, betrayal, underhandedness. The Decepticons kind of like playing the Autobots, and then having one of the Autobot primes back betray them and stuff. That in itself is a good story. But the fact that they tagged it on to the second film and drew it out and made it completely stupid, it's just fucking ridiculous. It has no reference to the second film at all. They don't reference it. Apart from the matrix of leadership and the same characters, it doesn't draw on the second film whatsoever. At least the second one drew on the first one. There's only one other way that number 3 draws on number 2, and that's the fact that Megatron's a bit messed. And he's all battle damage and shit, and that's about it, really. And it's fucking ridiculous that number 2 isn't tied into number 3 in any way. It's just they might as well have had a really, really quick bit of Optimus Prime proving himself to the God Primes at the end of number 1 and getting the matrix of leadership, then having number 3 be number 2 and chuck out number 2 entirely instead of having number 2 after number 3. If they swapped over those films, everything would make more sense, because The Fallen, the storytellers really expect us to believe that the whole thing with The Fallen and the babies and the sun-destroying energon collector is really all a setup for number 3. Number 3 was just a backup plan Megatron had just in case things didn't work out with The Fallen. Bullshit. And where the fuck were all those fucking Transformers that were all the Decepticons that were under the shitting moon when number 2 was happening? They had why were they fighting a battle in the middle of the Sahara Desert? They have a bajillion Decepticons on the fucking moon waiting to come down. And you can't tell me they were waiting there for the portal so they can get through. Bullshit. How many Decepticons turn up on Earth in number 2 and number 3? Before the fucking teleporter is open, how many of them turn up from seemingly nowhere? After a bunch of them get X'd in the first one, a bunch of them get X'd in the second one, and new ones turn up in number 3. And I'm sorry, but in number 2, right, when Sam is captured by the Decepticons, he's dead. He is dead, okay? Megatron grabs him, shucks him clean across the room, and he slams down onto this big fucking concrete thing, and a big thing smacks in his back. He is dead after that. It's just so fucking ridiculous. The whole thing is just so stupid after number 1. Number 1 was enjoyable, it was good, it was fun. You couldn't, if you went into it and took it too seriously, you'd have a bad time. But then it's a film about giant fucking robots. If you're going into a film like that with a serious mindset, you're gonna have a bad time. It's your own fucking fault, really. But it was just fucking stupid. In number 2 and number 3, they did such a bad job story-wise, and the effects get even more insane. Especially in number 3, there's a really fucking cool bit of CG where Optimus Prime comes swooping in, just after the Autobots are about to get executed by fucking Soundwave or whatever his name is. And Optimus Prime comes in and just goes batshit on fucking everyone, and just takes apart I think I counted the X'd about 8 Decepticons in the space of a minute. It just fucking drops off, and it's a really fucking cool bit of CG. But you can't fucking see any of it because it's all happening so fast and there's so much shit up in the screen, you can't fucking see what's happening. The only bit of cool CG you can see is the boss fight at the end between Optimus, Sentinel and fucking Megatron, and you can just barely see that. There's even bits of that where it's oh, let me in your face fighting fucking shit everywhere. And it's just, what the fuck, man? I can't see what is happening. I think someone's getting their ass kicked. I think Optimus Prime is making a witty one-liner, but I can't hear it over all the really loud sound effects. And the explosions are insane as well. Every explosion has white sparks coming out of it. And you can't use the excuse, oh, it's the Decepticons' ammo doing it. No, it's fucking not. Because even explosions that humans themselves create have white sparks coming out of them. Like when tanks shoot shells, white sparks. Why? Are the army now using white phosphorus in their tank shells? I don't fucking think so. It's just like there's explosions everywhere in the third one. The story's ridiculous. It's just everything's fucking insane. It's like the Autobots hiding in the fucking booster rocket. They're fucking big, massive robots. Why does Optimus Prime go, okay, we will leave? Why? You're fucking gigantic robots. Like, they can make you leave. It's like, why did he not just go, Poink? I mean, when that little bitch woman is just like getting all up in his grill, giving him shit, why did he not just go, I'm a big robot? Like, you know what? You're really brave. It's like seriously, you expect me to believe that like there's someone in the world that monumentally arrogant that they'd stomp up to this big fucking huge machine that they know can deal out consummate amounts of death with both hands, and there's like nothing, and there's like very little that we have in the way of arsenal that can actually take these fuckers out, and she's giving him that much shit? I don't fucking think so. I don't think there's anyone in the world that arrogant. It's just fucking insane. It's like she's giving like Optimus Prime all this mouth. I half expect him to lean down and go flicker off into oblivion. It's just fucking ridiculous. And they always seem to do that. They always have like the really arrogant human getting all up in Optimus Prime's face. They did it in number 2 as well. Like the arrogant human getting all up in Optimus Prime's face and him being all chill and okay with it, knowing full well that you like the audience is sitting there going, go on, fucking take him out, squash him like an insect. Because they're just so annoying. They make them like too arrogant and too cartoonish that you can't take them seriously as like secondary antagonists. It's just fucking ridiculous. And the story in the third one isn't that bad. It's made bad by the fact that it doesn't tie in with the second one. It completely negates the second one. It doesn't really draw much from the first film either. It just makes no sense in like the canon they've already created, kind of thing. It just doesn't make sense. There's no continuality with it at all. I think that's what pisses a lot of people off. There's no continuality. It doesn't tie in. The story itself isn't that bad. With a bit of polishing and a bit of tweaking, it could be a really good story. But it's made worse by the fact that it's just ridiculous. The characters are stupid. There's more racist characters in it. Yay! That's what I want to talk about. Number 2, the twins. What the fuck? I mean, I don't know whether they're meant to be Mexican or Puerto Rican. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is it's racist. It's like they just come across as really offensive to me. I don't know if like anyone of the gender that ethnicity they're supposed to be was offended by it as well. But to me, they come across as really offensive. Like when I first heard them, I was like, okay, like is that just their cover or are they actually like that? They are really offensive. And what the fuck happened to them in number 3? They just vanished into the ether. What, did they get killed by Decepticons? In like the time between 2 and 3? What happened? It's just, it's ridiculous. Although I do like, the only thing I liked about number 3 really was that they did get a new actress in to play Sam's love interest. And I actually buy their romance more. Their romance together is a bit more believable and it feels more organic. It's not as clunky and it's not as mechanical and not as cheesy as the one between him and, Titsy McArseface. But the romance is more believable. It's a lot less clunky. There's less cheesy lines in it. It seems a bit more organic. You can believe that these two are actually in a proper relationship with each other, They make subtle digs at each other every so often, but they're also quite loving with each other. Sam gets you believe Sam's jealousy and her reaction to his jealousy with the other guy. And it just seems better and more believable and you buy into it a bit more. You find they have a real relationship. And I like that. I liked their relationship in number 3. It was a lot more believable. She was a better love interest. And for me, she's actually more attractive. I actually find her more attractive than Megan Fox. Megan Fox she has what I call processed beauty, which is beauty that's rendered through Hollywood glamour to be what they think we all find attractive, basically. We as men all find attractive, ass, titties, face, slim, nice. No. We don't want that Hollywood, okay? We want real women. You might think we like that, and we might think we like that at times, and we might say we like that. But what we actually want is a believably attractive woman, not processed beauty like Megan Fox. She's not bad looking. I'm not saying she's ugly. It's just she looks too processed. She looks like, you know, she looks like she just stepped out of the makeup truck after 6 hours. That's what she looks like. And, like, you know, one that has a functioning cosmetic surgeon on it as well. But, yeah, she just looks too fake, really. I mean, I don't know whether they applied a shit ton of makeup to her. They must have in some scenes. They must have just applied a shit ton of makeup to the woman. But, yeah, like, we may say we like that, but we don't. In number 3, the woman is a lot more attractive. She's more attractive. She looks more naturally attractive as well. It looks like, you know, she's just woken up, brushed her hair, given her face a wash, applied a little bit of makeup, out the door. You know, she looks like an actual person rather than someone who's been in a makeup truck for like 8 hours having like half a ton of fucking cover put on their face. And I like that about her. She's like, and she comes across as a nicer person as well. You know, she has her subtle digs at Matt. Like she has her subtle digs at everyone else in the cast as well. And she just seems nicer. She seems like a better person than Megan Fox's character. Like her, like the conflict she has with Max is a bit more. For fuck's sake, why do I keep saying Max? I got the name Max on the brain for some reason. I don't know why. Is Max the name of another character in there? He's not the name of the bad guy, number 3, is he? He pisses me off as well. I don't like him. His character seems really, really one-dimensional. Like, and even when he turns traitor, he's one-dimensional, which is impossible. He's like he's a fucking he's a guy living 2 lives, but he's one-dimensional. That doesn't really seem possible. But yeah, she seems a lot better. I do prefer her in number 3 over Megan Fox, just because she's better. She fits into the story more as well. The romance between her and Sam is more believable. You believe there's chemistry going on between them as well, which is nice. I like it. And like, I don't like how they tried to, you know, ruin. Oh, what's that character's name? John Malkovich. They got John Malkovich in there being John Malkovich. I don't actually think he knew he was being filmed. He just wandered onto the set and went, film him! Because every time he just walks on screen, it's like cinematic gold! But I think his part was kind of unnecessary. I just think it was in there for the sake of having a big name in there who's known for being quite quirky and they can get some easy comedy out of him. I'm not saying I disliked him. He just seemed a bit unnecessary. As well as, poor Alan Turing. Oh, poor Wash. What did they do to your Wash? But they got fucking... Oh, they got Wash in from Firefly, Alan Turing, who is a fucking genius. I love him in everything he does. He's brilliant, he's quirky, he's absolutely fucking hilarious. So, like, one of the best things you can do with your life is watch Firefly and then watch the outtakes from Firefly, because Alan Turing is a fucking genius. He's absolutely hilarious. I mean, that whole bit in Firefly where he's playing with the dinosaurs, that wasn't scripted, that wasn't directed, that was Alan Turing turning up, sitting down and getting out plastic dinosaurs and just doing that. That's just Alan Turing. Yeah, he's a fucking genius. I love him. But like, I found his part to be, he was funny, don't get me wrong, he was funny, I loved it, but his part was unnecessary as well. He just seemed to be there for comedic effect. It's like, and it kind of diminishes their storyline quite a bit, because they're trying to do this serious storyline of, you know, Sentinel Prime and the other Decepticons enslaving the human race so to use us to rebuild Cybertron. And, you know, they're serious that, you know, there's a shadow traitor organisation that work with the Decepticons and have been for years, and like you know, no one knows about them, and they've been, like, you know, manipulating world events so that this specific thing can happen. And then they just chuck in really random comedy moments with Alan Turing and John Malkovich and other characters just in your face, and with the parents as well. Really random, ridiculous comedy in your face. It's like, that detracts from the storyline, you dick. You're trying to have a serious storyline, don't chuck in random ass comedy. It distracts from the seriousness of the moment. And I'm sorry, but Sam's parents in this one, oh my shit. I didn't think they could get any more annoying after 2. But god damn it that they pull it off. They're just so annoying, and they're in it for no reason. Sam could still get to that job interview. He could take a fucking cab. They are there for no reason. And it's just fucking ridiculous. It's so stupid. They're just like there to add some exposition to fucking Sam's character. And it's like, he doesn't need it. You've got like a bajillion other characters in this fucking thing. Use them. Although I did find like the bits of like Grinder in the skyscraper, that was quite well shot. I did enjoy that. But that's the thing. That's the thing about these films, though. That's what I think the problem is. When you talk about Transformers with your friends, one of the things you'll go to first is the action and what your favourite action scene was. And that's not really a good thing. Yes, it's good, it's got really good action in it, but it's not good that everyone remembers it for the action. I mean, if you are someone who likes the film, who's seen the film a lot, or people who like the film a lot, ask about 10 of those people to explain the story arc to you. Pretty much none of them will be able to do it because they'll just purely love it for the action. And I love it for the action as well. I love number 1 for the action, number 2's action was okay, number 3 had some fucking good moments in it as well. And it's just, that's not a good thing for your film to be remembered purely for the action. I still maintain that Avatar, I don't know, this is going to earn me hate, Avatar was only popular because of the CGI. You take out the CG in that film, you take out all the special effects, all the makeup, all the set, and everything else, give it a B-movie budget, and chuck it on the Sci-Fi Channel, no one would have fucking seen it. Not a one would have fucking seen it, because it's the exact same displaced population story that has been used for years and years and years and years. It is a Native American story set on a different planet. That is what it is. And it's so popular, I think, because of the groundbreaking CGI. I'm not saying it's a bad film. I liked it. I thought the effects were brilliant. The CGI was awesome. It was a true pleasure to look at. And if you watch that on Blu-ray on like a really nice like HD ready TV, it is gorgeous. It's really nice. I mean, I've seen that off an Xbox One on a really expensive HD ready screen, and it was gorgeous. It was really nice to look at. It's really nice to look at. It's well shot, the lighting's good, dramatic flair is nice, everything's beautiful. But the story is shit. The story is absolute shit. It's so repeatable and it's so cut, wash and dried. You know exactly what's going to happen like 5 minutes in. As soon as you get explained, oh, guy can't walk, but he can mind jack into another creature on this planet where they're mining for resources. You know exactly what's gonna fucking happen. Don't lie to me. Everyone figured out that story in like the first 10-15 minutes of the film. Everyone figured it out. As soon as you get to that planet and like bitchy Dr. Weir grew up and she's a badass. She became a bitch. But yeah, fucking Ripley has that chat with that guy who's got unobtainium, but he's holding a chunk of it, so it's not really unobtainium anymore. It's, still really fucking rarium. We can get it, but it's kind of hard to get hold of rarium. And it's just, yeah. I mean, I know it's going to earn me hate, but that film, the story was crap. Everything else in it was fucking awesome. I love the shit out of the visuals, but yeah, the story is really repeatable and really crap. I had an argument about that with someone the other day, actually. They're like, no, it's brilliant, it's a masterpiece, it's an absolute legend. Not really, no it's not. The story's the same kind of story you've heard 1,000 times over in like less high budget films. Really? Budget's the thing, like the budget was a thing that made it, and I think that carries over to Transformers films a little bit. Because people see the film, I myself included, see the film, see the effects, go absolutely batshit for the effects and say you love the shit out of it, but kind of forget that the story is really lacking, and that's what should make the film. The film shouldn't be about the effects, it should be about the story. I mean, there are films that use barely any fucking effects at all, but the story's so good, you remember them for fucking years. I mean, what? I mean, Sin City, for instance, effects in that, not really anywhere. They don't even use a full colour palette, but it's still a really good film because the story's epic and Frank Miller's a fucking genius. There's other films as well that, ask your parents, for instance. Ask your parents, or those of you of the older generation, the last generation from me, like people who grew up in, say, the 70s or the 80s or the early 90s. You'll know films that have the most rubbish effects in the history of man, but the story is so good, it hit you so hard, you still remember that shit. It's like the original Thing is still considered a classic, even though the effects by today's standards are absolute shit. But like you know, I mean, this is gonna earn me some hate for some fans, but the original Thing, the effects in that are horribly bad, and there's some really bad effects in like other films as well, back from that era. But I mean, look, like, you know, the original Willy Wonka, the effects in that are not all that good really by today's standards. But everyone still prefers that Willy Wonka over the new one. Even I myself, I like the new one. I still prefer the old one because the old one's better, and it has a really fucked up, trippy fucking tunnel sequence. Seriously, what the fuck was that shit about? That's never explained or referenced in the film again. It's just, that's fucked up. That scarred me. Another film that scarred me when I was younger, Return to Oz. What the shit was up with that? That shit was fucked up. I mean, seriously, Return to Oz, that is the most messed up film I've ever watched. And I'm a big fan of horror films. I've seen all the Saws, I've watched most of the zombie films out there. I even watched Outpost. That was just so scarring. It was messed up. If you're a kid and you saw that, the Wheelers, they fucking haunt your nightmares, and you fucking know what I'm talking about. It was just, it was so messed up and so colossally weird, especially for a kid's film. I mean, you don't see shit like that nowadays. I mean, How to Train Your Dragon 2 and stuff like that. You don't get shit from Return to Oz in that, I'll tell you that much. Fuck. But I should probably wrap this up because I've been rambling for a while. I'm pretty sure this is going to be like at least an hour long by the time I get it cut. So I should probably shut the fuck up. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now. Transformers was okay. Number 2, starting to slide. Number 3, deep in the fucking dungeons of Moria. It was just, they were ridiculous and they were bad. So that's how I'm going to wrap it up. If you like explosions and random shit happening up in your face so much that you can't tell what's happening, go watch Transformers 2 and 3. If you appreciate Transformers, go watch number 1. I look forward with anticipation a little bit as to what number 4 is going to be like, but I'm very reserved on what it's going to be like, because it's probably going to be absolute shit. It's not going to be good. But anyway, I've been Frackner. This has been me rambling about the Transformers films and other shit. So thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you've enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if there's anything else you want me to talk about. Go on my other friends' channels if you want to. If you're into wrestling and you want to see some other, or you want to hear us ramble about games and stuff like that. So thank you very much. Hit the subscribe button if you want to join the Brotherhood of Legends today. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Frackner, and enjoy life. And I'm going to have a dance break to my new outro music. Ooh.